Today we will learn about leadership for volunteers. Our third critical leadership skill is to build trust, the superpower of every successful team. In our world, trust has to be earned. Trust allows team members to depend on each other, share ideas, and work collaboratively. Let's see how. I was very lucky to meet and be certified by Judith Glaser, the researcher who discovered that conversational intelligence, or CIQ, tells us that trust is based on the quality of interactions and conversations you have. Most of the time in our conversations, we're just winging it. But what does that produce? These are words people have used to describe a leader who just wings it, or speaks before they think. Often simply called a bad boss, they live in the default. Conversely, these are words used to describe a good boss, someone who thinks before they speak, who leads by design. Learn to manage your conversations. How can we tell if others on our team live in the default? Through our interactions with them. We can't trust someone until we've listened to them and worked with them. To help the team earn trust, help them learn to overcome their negativity while you work on your own. Make it a team project. For example, let's all work on listening skills at today's meeting. As a leader, you cannot expect nor wish to have a team full of yes men or women. General George Patton famously said, "If we both agree, what do I need you for?" Exactly. The best team will offer diverse opinions so the leader can pick the best one. We'll learn more about that when we get to decision making. Can your team trust you with their true opinion based on how you respond to them? No! That's not a good response. Value the disagreement as a sign of trust. Good leaders always think first to control or avoid negative words. For example, complain can become solutions. Even no can become yes, I understand. Unfortunately, that's not an option. Also, don't be the one who causes everyone to roll their eyes because of all the details. Turn details into stories if you want them to listen to you. That was Abraham Lincoln's superpower, making a story around his point, making his audience want to listen. Is your conversational intention to criticize, to embarrass, to strong-arm them into submission, to bore them with details? Of course not. But if you don't plan your conversations, it might end up that way. We want to manage by design, not by default. We want to co-create by triggering a positive state of mind, by simply thinking before we speak. How do you know if you're getting through? Check them for active listening. When you're talking, it's not about you. I had someone tell me, it's the listener's job to work harder at it. No, it's your job as a speaker to make them want to listen. Are they paying attention? Are they asking questions? If so, good job. If not, say it better. When leaders engage with their team, value their suggestions, and inspire new thinking, they create a community that looks forward to co-creating a future together. They become a team of co-creators who trust each other. And it only takes 3 key factors to build that trust in conversations: warmth, inclusion, and validation. People will quit if they don't get them. For example, warmth means to use language like, "Thank you, I appreciate that," to show that you care about them. For inclusion, say, "Good morning," and give them eye contact and a smile when greeting them. That says that you're including them in the tribe. For validation, say things like, "Good thinking. I want to hear more about that." Even if you hate their opinion, they still have the right to say it, and you're validating that. How can you trust someone? The trustworthy person is the one you can rely on. To fully trust someone, you have to see their actions, not just their words. Do they put in the effort? Do they have the time and resources to do it? Do they know how to do it? If not, teach them. Help them to become trustworthy. Conversely, are you trustworthy? Worthy of their trust in you? After all, the buck stops here. Do you have compassion for them? Do you act on your promises by following through? Are you fully trustworthy? What can you do immediately to help build trust in your team? Our main skill to build trust is to move the conversation at every level to encourage teamwork. At the very lowest trust level, encourage the team to not hold grudges. For example, if somebody was dissed by somebody else, you can say something like, "I totally understand. Do you feel we can move forward together to get this done regardless?" When we move to conditional trust, we still have to monitor the conversation by shifting from you having to be right to simply sharing a perspective. For example, "I see where you're coming from. What would happen if we tried adding this, like a fundraising component, so we don't use up our budget?" Especially if they say something like, "I would love to do this," and what you really want to say is, "We don't have the budget for that." This is a kinder, gentler way to say that. Once your team has high levels of trust, seek for ways that you can join forces and become greater for both. For example, "I like it. Let's think it through some more for better ways to have even greater impact." Our key takeaway for building trust is to add warmth, inclusion, and validation to your conversations, to manage by design, not by default. We have learned that trust has to be earned. Trust allows team members to depend on each other, share ideas, and work collaboratively. Adding warmth, inclusion, and validation to your conversations will greatly build the trust that others place in you. Then, back it up with actions.